Hello, I'm Brian Wilson in Washington. Coming up at the top of the hour, a rare gathering of three presidents in the Rose Garden of the White House. President Obama, former Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush will gather to talk about the crisis in Haiti. Of course, Presidents Clinton and Bush will be leading up private sector efforts to solve the problem there. And Secretary Clinton is arriving at Port-au-Prince today. We have extensive team coverage from our resources on the ground. And although Haiti will be the focus of most of our coverage, we will also talk briefly about the continuing fight in D.C. over health care reform. We'll be live for 2 hours from D.C., starting in about 20 minutes.
Well, we go now back to the battle for the Bay State, Massachusetts, and the late Senator Ted Kennedy's Senate seat up for grabs. Right now, it appears to be a toss-up between Democrat Martha Coakley and Republican Scott Brown. Now, Massachusetts is one of the bluest of the blue states, so the fact that a Republican even stands a chance is surprising to some. It's been decades since a Republican has held that seat. President Obama is even planning to campaign for Coakley tomorrow. He's already making his pitch to voters.
We know where Martha Coakley stands. As your Attorney General, Martha's taken on Wall Street schemes, insurance company abuses, and big polluters on your behalf. She represents the best progressive values of Massachusetts. She'll be your voice and my ally.
Interesting, a very rare robocall from the president himself. What does the race tell us about the overall political landscape right now? Let's bring in Doug Schoen, Democratic pollster, Fox News contributor, and I have to remind people, Democratic pollster.
Absolutely.
Because as you look at this race, you think Martha Coakley's in trouble.
I think she's in real trouble, Jamie. This race is trending for the Republican Scott Brown, largely because independents, the largest bloc in Massachusetts, are breaking 2.5 to 3 to 1 for Brown.
Now, Doug, it's not just about health care. This particular group of voters is watching the entire country. They're hearing about taxes, they're looking at health care, certainly, and they're becoming disenfranchised to a certain extent, something that has not happened in years.
This group is angry. They're angry not only about health care, they're angry about the deficit, they're angry about cap and trade, and they're worried about what they perceive is out-of-control spending. There's a lot of dissatisfaction with politics and the governor of Massachusetts. So all of that wrapped together makes this a referendum that's much bigger than just a Senate election or even an election about the health care bill.
Much bigger than just an election about Massachusetts. My first question to you during the break was, why should people be watching this race elsewhere? Will we begin to see a trend away from someone like Martha Coakley?
This is the first real referendum we've had since President Obama has been elected on his presidency. It's in, as you said, the bluest of the blue states, but with a close election or potentially a Republican victory, it's the first chance for people to express whatever anger and outrage they have with an agenda that is increasingly unpopular, Jamie. I
have to ask you again, because as a Democratic pollster, I often am hearing you now saying that Democrats, certain ones, are in trouble. Well, what's going on inside for you as you watch the numbers?
What's happened is the Democratic Party has moved with President Obama further and further left, more and more populist, as the president's remarks in that robocall suggested, so that moderate Democrats like myself and a dwindling number in the Senate and a probably larger number in the House are increasingly nervous as the Republicans become more conservative and the Democrats more liberal.
Very interesting discussion. Doug, great to see you. Thanks
Jamie,
for coming in today. Kelly?
Well, health care reform is on the agenda for tomorrow's Fox News Sunday, Jamie. Britt Hume is filling in for Chris Wallace, and among his guests will be Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, the Senate minority leader, talking about the health care bill. That's Fox News Sunday tomorrow. Check your local listings. Well, so many of you want to open up your hearts and help people in Haiti and your wallets as well to help them. Next, how you can make sure your money and supplies are going to the right place.